That was Bussy. Hello. Happy Saturday. Hey, can you guys hear me? You guys can hear me, right? Spatial. Well, I mean, it's a phone in my kitchen, so it's only going to be uh, like it's not going to be my normal audio quality because I'm not using like an actual professional streaming mic. But anyway, so today is homebrew day. I've got to make some sanitization fluid stuff. So hold on. Hey, I'm still here, just making the thing. Hey, Champion Killer, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh, yay! I can see the subscription stuff. That's interesting, and good. Thank you for the continued. Is that a? Shit, I can't actually see all of it because my chat's messed up. But hold on a sec. Okay, there we go. I'm back. I had to make the sanitization liquid stuff. JPie, hello. Good to see you as well. Yeah, hold on a second. Yeah, my chat's. This is annoying. I gotta move it over so I can see. There we go. Now I can see things. That was a tier 3 subscription from Champ McGill. Thank you very much. We'll get you to the top of the screen whenever I'm back at my computer. So unfortunately, that's going to have to hold off for a minute. But thank you very much for your continued support. And Maximus, hello. Purple? No, I'm using white grape. So now, granted, the pomegranate mead might have a bit of a darkerish color to it. I don't know. We'll see how that one turns out. I suspect it's going to clear out over time as it ferments, but who knows how that's going to turn out. Okay, so what all do I need here? I got my sanitization liquid. Yeah, let's in fact move my... Let's move this a little bit closer. There we go. Okay. It's been a long time since I've actually done this. When is the last batch I actually made? It would have been the, was it the Cloudberry mead? That was quite some time ago. I've just been like drinking through the massive store that I have, and I'm almost out now. I've only got like 2 bottles of stuff left. 2 full bottles anyway. But just to quickly go over what we're doing here, today we're going to be making grape mead, or a Pyment, out of Welch's grape juice and honey and other things. And this is like, it should be, I don't know, I'm the most interested in this one. This is going to be a pomegranate juice, or a pomegranate mead. So we're going to dump this in here and then fill the rest out with water and honey and all that, the usual stuff. But we'll go over that when we get to that part. This is pomegranate juice from Azerbaijan. It was in the grocery store. Alright, well now that we have all that crap out here, let's go ahead and, oh yeah, let's array our ingredients. So sort of the extra fruity sort of ingredient, I'm going to be using raisins for the Pyment, because it's grape anyway, so let's just double down on the grape. And for the pomegranate mead, I'm going to be, I zested this morning, it's in the freezer. Made some orange zest. And then froze it, because I think that just, it's better for a number of reasons, as far as I'm aware. I'm not going to get into that. In fact, I'm going to leave it in the freezer until it's ready to go. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is, these are our main vessels here, so I'm just going to clean these off quickly. Actually, there's some crap on the outside. I'm going to wash it off in the sink, and then we're going to properly sanitize these. Actually, while we're setting this up, I'm going to go grab my hydrometer. I'll be right back. It's in the other room. Alright, so we have our graduated cylinder, which we're going to need in a bit. There's the hydrometer in here. So these are going to be used to measure sugar content. So we're going to know roughly what kind of alcohol ABV or alcohol level ABV we're going to get when the whole thing is done. And here are the airlocks and bungs to seal the things later on when we need to do that. Alright, so I'm just going to thoroughly rinse this stuff. That's a bit messy. What the hell do I do with that lid? I think there's one in here. There it is, perfect. I still have the cap from when I bought these were initially, they contained, what's it called? Non-alcoholic apple cider. Alright, got that emptied out. Container number 2. Obviously, it doesn't need to be totally filled up. Ryan, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. I was wondering if you spelled something backwards. Sanitize the neck of the bottle as well. Okay, well, next thing we're going to need is, well, I may as well wash this in advance as well since we're here. Even though this is like the last thing we're going to need, so we don't need to do this yet, but whatever. I washed the first half of it. Usually I do this off stream beforehand, but I figured, it's been a while since I've actually cleaned everything on stream, so may as well go over that process as well. It's not the most exciting thing in the universe, but whatever. Okay, anyway, so this is going to be that. That's there. The first liquid I'm going to need is actually tea. So why don't we set that up? I got a kettle over there. Alright, we're gonna make, I need 2 teas, so let's set that up. Got my filtered water. Alright, so I'll have that boiling just off camera over there. Probably should have done that earlier because it's going to be a bit noisy, but whatever. Okay, in the meantime, let's put this aside because I'm going to need this later anyway. So it may as well be something closer to room temperature. Okay, so first order of business. I'm probably going to want to get the honey and... Oh, yeah, I need a funnel. My equipment's just all over the place. Like I said, I haven't used this shit in months, so it's just everywhere. But it's right over there. I know where it is. Like stuck onto this funnel, so I'm just making sure it's washed properly because you know everything that goes in there has to go through the funnel, so the funnel should probably be pretty clean. Alright, so we got that all ready there. As much of that iodine liquid out of there as possible. It doesn't really matter, but I don't like it in there, so. Just swishing around some normal water in here. Okay, there we go. That's vessel number 1. That's more or less good to go. Alright, and that is gallon jug number 2. So that means I have a third one, but we're not using that today. That's going to get saved for when I make cider sometime down the line. We'll see when, but how old am I? Old. Alright, this is probably not going to be enough water for later, so I'm going to go fill this up again. The cutting board. Yeah, I'm gonna need a cutting board because I need to chop the raisins up. So we got a knife here and the cutting board. Now we have ourselves the world's most sanitary cutting board. That guy down here. So we're going to be chopping up 2 boxes of raisins to more manageable sizes. If you just plunk entire raisins down into this, then they like swell up and they're hard to deal with. Like they turn back into grapes, right? So just so that when they swell back up, they're like in smaller chunks. It just makes it easier to manage. Actually, kind of a pain in the ass to cut, but it's gonna do that silently here. Well, I'm not silent. What? Can you guys even hear me when I'm talking and I have my back turned to you guys? I guess I can like look sideways and then maybe a bit more audible here, but I don't like the physical act of cutting raisins. It's a bit annoying. So I'm gonna try and get this done as quickly as possible here. By the way, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask, obviously, in regards to this or anything else. It might take me a second, but eventually I'll turn around and be able to read chat, so. Alright, that should more or less do it for the first box. Alright, so we'll make this one our Pyment. And this one will be our Pomegranate. Also, the water's done boiling, so that's good. Alright, for the raisins, let's go ahead and just use this. Does it matter which one I use? No, I don't think it does. So we're going to use the big one for everything. So this can go there. Now the slow and fun process of getting all these raisin bits in the funnel, into the thing. It's actually going pretty smoothly. The trick is to not dump too much in at once. So there is a specific reason I'm doing it in this order. Putting the dry ingredients in first, and then like I can put the honey in, and then you'll see. But okay, well here's what I'm doing. I'll explain. Putting the raisins in first, then it's going to be the honey next, and then I'll dump the tea over that, so the hot water gets all the honey still in the funnel into the thing. So. Luckily, oh yeah, because I'm streaming from a phone in my kitchen. So, hello Jebdo as well. Welcome. It may seem slower to be doing a tiny handful at a time, but if you dump too much in there at once, it just like bottlenecks, and then I gotta like shove it through with a stick, and it, in fact, takes more time. So, all right, box number 2. We're gonna do 2 boxes of raisins here today. So roughly 60 grams. Okay, I'm gonna chop this one up and dump it in there as well. Now I go over this slightly more carefully, make sure each raisin is individually chopped at least once here. I said I don't want any full grapes swelling up in there, that's just a pain in the ass to deal with. Alright, that ought to do the trick. Okay, I saw one raisin in there that wasn't cut. Oh wait, no, there's 2. Oh, holy shit, there's like 3 raisins I didn't actually cut. Alright, that's fine then. We're good. Again, we just sort of slowly sprinkle them in there. Two more scoops ought to do it. Alright, there we go. Oh, that's 2 pieces stuck. Alright, that's fine for now. Next thing we gotta do is, since I'm doing 2 simultaneously, we're gonna get all the dry ingredients for both in. So we're gonna get the orange zest. What phone am I using? I have no idea. Okay, light. I'm gonna just wash this really quickly first. I'm gonna go ahead and sanitize these 2 things because we're gonna need them, not like super soon, but soon enough. Okay. Okay, that's all ready to go. I'm gonna go grab my orange zest. What's the washing solution? It is 1 ounce of like an iodine cleaning solution thing in about 4 to 5 gallons of water. Alright, here we go. And so this is the orange zest stuff I made, like I said, just this morning before I started streaming. I took a, what's it called? Like a cheese grater kind of thing and just ran over an orange. So there's about a little over half an orange worth of orange peel zest stuff. I guess I should probably, yeah, let's use the funnel. It'll probably be easier to get it in there that way. There we go. It's not gonna. No, it's getting stuck. Okay. And that's what we have the poking stick for, which I'm going to need to sanitize now. Okay, good enough. We don't need all of that, so let's take this over here. Give this a quick rinse in this water. We may need, well, yeah, we'll definitely need the funnel again. I don't know if I'm going to need the stick again, but we might. So give that a quick rinse. Keep everything clean. Okay, so we got all the dry ingredients in there. Next thing we want to do is the honey, I guess, isn't it? You know, tea can come last. I don't want us I don't know if over steeping the tea matters at all for this kind of thing. I've never bothered looking into it, so I may as well just not. So I'm going to do the tea. Is the camera lagging or something? It's looking a bit weird on my screen. Oh, it doesn't matter. So yeah, I'm just not going to oversteep the tea. So we're going to do the tea when I need to actually put it in. You don't like mead? Nim, have you had homebrewed mead before? Also, Bunny, hello, welcome. Alright, do I need a cutting board for anything else here today? I don't think I do. Got the raisins, I don't need it for that. Yeah, I can put the cutting board away, it's just in the way for now. Alright, so honey. So this takes a little while because I gotta get honey through this funnel into this. So obviously that's gonna take a while. So this is 3 kilograms of honey. I need roughly, I'm not gonna be super precise about how much honey I need in each thing. I don't care that much. Either way, I'm gonna get like mead that's floating around somewhere between 12 to 14%. It's not going to change that much depending on how much, how minute about this stuff I get. But I know this is exactly 3 kilograms of, well, I don't know, but it says it's 3 kilograms of honey. I can only imagine it's relatively accurate. I just put half of the honey in one of them and half the honey in the other one. It's 1.5 kilograms each. Boom, works out. So, haven't had homebrew? You should have homebrew. I've had store-bought mead. It wasn't bad or anything. It doesn't taste anything like homebrew, like the homebrew mead that I make anyway. The store-bought stuff tasted more like wine than anything. Like, your standard, it's like white grape wine, or white wine kind of thing. Mead, when I make it, it's like its own thing. So, anyway, let's get to dumping the honey in here. Before we do that, let me try and get a rough estimate of where I want the honey to be after I'm done pouring it for the first one. So I probably want it like around, see, it's not exactly going to be half and half. Well, hold on a second. So let me see if I can estimate it here. Because this is what I'm saying. I don't have a scale to weigh it on to begin with, but I'm not going to be super precise about it. So the first half of the bottle, obviously this part is curved, so it doesn't hold it quite as much. So let's take this part here first. You guys can see that. So half of this is like roughly that, and then there's that bit at the top. So probably... I'm going to say this is about half the bottle. Well, yeah, no, I don't know how to estimate this. Well, the whole thing is, well, so this is going to be about the halfway point of the whole bottle here. But a bunch of that is of lesser volume because it's thinner at the top, meaning I can probably go down to about here with the first batch. That looks about right to me. Yeah, let's do it that way. So right about, see this line here? I don't know if you guys can see that line on the camera. Just a little bit above that line. Oh, Hope, hey. Sorry, if you hosted, I can't see anything right now. None of my stuff is... basically, I can't see anything while I'm out here with my phone streaming in my kitchen. But thank you very much. Appreciate it. So welcome everyone coming in from your channel over there. Hope your stream is going well. Incidentally, anyone else, if anyone does anything like resubscribes or anything, just let me know. Just spam the chat and I'll hope until I see it, basically. Because I can't see stuff right now. Expect to brew. It's mainly just being cheap. I don't want to spend money on alcohol, which I think is a reasonable position to be taking in Canada because alcohol is expensive out here. All right, so let's dump the honey into both these containers. This is going to be the primary source of the sugars that the yeasts are going to need to produce alcohol. Alright, we gotta do it in stages because this takes a little while, but it'll eventually drip through there. I could soften like the honey up theoretically by heating it up or, you know, mixing it with water or something, but no, I'm not doing that. So we got a minute here as as I said, can you guys see that back there? The honey slowly just like dribbling into the gallon jug there. Oh yeah, I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna get something to drink. That's a good idea. Some San Pellegrino fizzy water. I think it was on sale. Also, hello Shaylee, welcome. What the hell is with this? Somewhere. All right, so the first thing of honey is gone through. Second, dumping. All right, if I recall correctly from my previous things, it was usually about 4 or 5 full funnels worth of honey going in there is roughly what it is, but you can sort of see it. Okay, I can move it up closer so you guys can see. It doesn't need to be stationary or anything. See, honey going in there along with the, so you get the raisins floating in the honey down there. I mean, theoretically, I guess I could have 2 funnels going simultaneously. No, wait, no, then I wouldn't know how much honey went into each. Yeah, I'm not going to do it that way. I'd probably have one that's like way too sweet and then one that's not enough honey, and that's not good. It's going to be quite a lot of honey. Did I use 1.5 kilograms for all my previous brews? I'm going to go double check my notes really quickly. I'll be right back. I'm pretty sure it's about, well, I'm averaging about 1.5 kilograms. I think sometimes a little bit less, sometimes a bit more. I'll be right back. Yep, that was accurate. So all my previous brews were anywhere between 1.3 something and 1.6-ish kilograms of honey. So 1.5 should do the trick nicely. And a few more things of it. If I had to guess, maybe like 2 more funnels worth on this one, and then we start doing the honey on this one. And then I can roughly kind of look at how much honey is in there. It's not going to be exactly the same because this is, raisins are taking up a bit of volume, but I should be able to gauge relatively well that the honey levels are even. Now, theoretically, I might need I don't know. I don't know which contains more sugar. This individual thing here, or those two things there. If I had to guess, it's the 2 grape juices. Is it going to tell me here? So this is going to contain how much sugar? This is 30 grams of sugar per cup, and there are 4 cups. So what is it for? It's 120 grams of sugar in this. And this one is what? Oh yeah, way more sugar in these. Because this one is 41 grams of sugar per cup, and there is, or not cup, per 250 milliliters. And there are, so like 5, a little over 5, yeah, way more sugar in these. I'm actually mildly concerned if I use a full 1.5 kilograms if it's going to be too much sugar in the Pyment. It's going to be really, like, a lot of sugar. Maybe I'll like hold back on the sugar a little bit, or on the honey, a little bit on the Pyment. Do I have an equivalent that I've done in the past, which would... The closest thing is the cloudberry jam thing I did. I calculated how much sugar roughly was in the jam. I don't think I wrote it down though. And that was 1.3 something kilograms of honey in there. Does the quality of the honey matter? Probably. I haven't done this enough to know. Allegedly it does. I always use just cheap honey because I don't want to spend money. But I mean, so long as it's pure honey, it should be fine. And not like honey with a bit of sugar water mixed in, or honey substitutes. Or it has to be like actual pure honey. Well, it doesn't have to be, but it should be pure honey. Now, if I recall correctly, depending on what country you live in, the legality of what constitutes pure honey does differ. So you gotta be careful with the ingredient. Basically, you gotta go to the ingredient list and make sure it just says honey, and that's it. Then you should be covered, I think, no matter what country you live in. But all right, well, we'll at least go one more here. One more big glob of honey. All right, where are we sitting at here? Theoretically, I feel like I could go one more thing of honey in here, but I don't know. Like I said, I've never made a Pyment. Maybe I should have looked up a video on how to make a Pyment first. It's fine. You know what? I'm going to check something really quickly to make sure I'm not over sugaring this. I'll be right back. Yeah, spending money, that's not a good thing. Anyway, I'll be back in like less than a minute. Okay, I'm back. We're going to do one more squeeze of honey in here. Yeah, one more. Okay, we're going to let that settle and see where the honey level is on the thing. It's roughly the amount I wanted to use. A little bit less, which I think is perfect. Okay, so not... Whoa. It's honey getting all over the bottle. Okay, so the rest of the honey, up down to about there, so we're going to have a little bit of honey left over. We'll go into the other one. Honey here in the U.S., that's what I heard. Yeah, the regulation is not quite as strict in the U.S. I'm going to wash off the side of the honey bottle here. Alright, are we in there yet? Are we done? Okay, so I'm going to say that's roughly 1.3 kilograms of honey, so about 3 pounds in that one. And like I said, I want a little bit less sugar, I think, in that one. Otherwise, we might end up with too much sugar. If you have too much sugar, I think that's actually bad for the yeast. Like, it becomes just too sugary and I can't deal with it, so... Granted, the yeast I'm using seems to be really hardy, so they should be fine, but you never know. And the thing is, I can measure the sugar levels at the end, and if it's not enough, I can add more. It's a bit of a pain in the ass because it's kind of full towards the end, but I can do it. Alright, so said actually maybe hold on a second. Maybe that is a little bit too little in terms of honey. Because I wanted to go down. Well, no, that's fine. That's fine. Fine. No more second guessing. Let's do it. Let's go. Container number 2. That's the fun part of making stuff with honey. Any bits that like drip over the side of the container you get to eat. Now, I was going to say something. What the hell was it? Oh, yeah, so, well, I can bring it up. So this is where the honey's going right now. This is where the orange zest is. Doesn't look like a lot of orange zest, right? You really don't need very much. The first batch of mead I made, I was like maybe half an orange worth of orange zest, and it was like very citrusy. Well, not like overpowering, so it wasn't like the dominant thing, but you would definitely not just like smell the citrus, but taste it as well. Just from the zest, it's actually quite interesting how much that can do to a brew. I'm thirsty. Is there anything else we can do in the meantime? So I've washed everything, pretty much everything. The yeast is in the fridge. We're going to leave the yeast in the fridge until I actually need it. No reason to take it out. Alright, this is about done here. So when I compare them side by side, I'm going to want a little bit more honey in this one, like I said. Alright. I get quite a bit of honey in that last pour there. Should be able to do it in about, maybe, if I get like 2 more full funnels worth in there. Actually, no. Yeah, it's probably going to take like 2 or 3. Yeah. Something very satisfying about watching the honey pour in there. I'll bring it up close to the camera so you guys can join in on the fun. See? That just looks good in general. It's like the honey pouring on the orange zest. Something about that just looks very tasty. You know, the honey is actually taking up so much space that the grape juice on its own might take up the rest of the space. I might not need to actually add any water. I was expecting to have to add a bit of water, but then maybe I won't. We'll see. Because each thing, of course, is also going to get a cup of tea as well, right? So, cup of black tea. Pouring that in. Almost in. Okay, there we go. Another full honey, or funnel's worth of honey. We will do the close-up again. It's fun, right? Close-up of the honey getting in there. God, that's a lot of honey. You know, you'd think, just kind of, well, if you don't think about it too much, it might seem like, wow, that's a lot of honey to drink, but, of course, that all gets turned into alcohol. So none of that sugar is going to be in there by the end. or very, very little of it. I'll be right back. Actually, hold on a second. No, we'll pour in one more thing and then I'll be right back. No, 20 seconds. Alright, one more glob of honey in here. We'll see if that'll do the trick. We're getting pretty close to the end of the bottle of honey here, so. And like I said, if I do everything right, I want a tiny, tiny bit left over at the end. And volume-wise, I want this honey overtaking that honey. Will it do it with this? I think I'm going to need about another half a funnel's worth, looking at the amount that's still left in the bottle of honey there. This would all be so much easier if I just had a scale, I suppose, but that involves buying things, and we've discussed what I think about buying things. Cheers. I guess I could start steeping the tea now. Yeah, let's do that. Yep, another kind of half funnel's worth ought to do the trick. Hopefully. Yeah, it's going to be slightly higher, and like I said, this one's got raisins taking out volume, so I think we're good. Build my own scale. That's the other thing. Time is also money, so it's almost like I'm buying it at that point. Yeah, looks like this is going to be done earlier. I should have started the tea sooner. So now we're going to be waiting at like 2. It takes tea like 2 minutes to steep, right? So, wow. How long do you steep English black tea? I can't remember. That's like 2 or 3 minutes, right? I think, ish. Well, it worked out. I had the exact amount of hot water in there. Why does this look like more honey than I remember there being in my previous brews? Am I just misremembering? You see, it's 3 kilograms of honey, right? Yeah, I guess it's just been a long time since I've done it. Alright, so we're gonna leave that there. Could someone like set a timer for it? I have clocks in here, I can see. So yeah, we gotta wait like 2-3 minutes and we'll just dump some tea in there. So at, let's say, on that clock, this time is totally wrong. It's currently 3:17 on that clock. I don't know what time it actually is. It's not. So anyway, 3:20 according to that clock, we're gonna add the tea. And then after that, we're gonna add the liquid. Let's get these on the right side here. I wouldn't want to, at this stage, add the wrong juice into the wrong container. It wouldn't be the end of the world, it just wouldn't be what I intended. Like, it'd probably be fine if I made pomegranate mead with orange zest, or I mean pomegranate mead with the raisins, and then the Pyment grape mead with the orange zest. It would be perfectly fine, it's just not what it wasn't the plan. Alright, so let's actually just go ahead and put the honey away. I think I'm done with it at this point. Unless I want to add a bit more honey into this one. Do I? Well, how much honey do we actually get into this one? So we went from about here to here on that. You know what? Yeah, this one could use a tiny bit more honey. Not like a huge amount, just a little bit, I think. I'll do the trick with this one. And now we put the honey away. We went over by 2 minutes, whatever. Over steep tea. All right, here we go. Tea number 1. Oh, the honey's still pouring in there. How quaint. Okay. It's tea number 1. Tea number 2. Spilled a bit on the table, but whatever. It's just tea. Military time. All right. Well, what I am going to do now is I'm going to try and mix this up just a little bit while it's hot. It'll make it easier for the tea or the honey to just kind of be melted a bit more, because this is like boiling water I just poured on it. So when I mix in the actual liquid, it'll be a little bit easier to just melt in. So orange honey tea mixture. I'm going to be mixing it up again later, so like I said, this is not the full and proper mixing, just a preliminary mix so the honey melts. All right, next step. Let's add in the actual juices. So which one do we want to do first? Let's do the Pyment. So the Welch's grape juice. It's already on there. Yep. So the good thing about doing this is going to make a nice thing to cut in half later when we do the sword test cutting stuff. So I'm going to rinse this out and keep this bottle. Yeah, I might not need any water here. In fact, I might not use all my grape juice even. Now the question is, how much do I want to fill this up here? I don't know how active this fermentation might end up being. So I got to leave a bit of headspace here. Because if it starts fermenting and bubbling up a whole bunch, then it's going to start coming out the top, which we don't want, obviously. Is that too much? No, okay, that's good. I think that's perfect. We'll leave that alone. I actually didn't have to use any water in this brew. That's cool. I was expecting to have to use a bit, but volume-wise, that worked out nicely. And we get some tasty grape juice for me to drink later. All right. Next, let's do the pomegranate juice. This has got a bit of sediment at the bottom, so I'm going to shake it up a bit. Oh, that's good. Now this one is definitely going to require water. There's less volume to this, and I wasn't going to buy like 2 of these. These are expensive. They're like $10 a pop. I also want to see what these taste like, so I'm going to give myself a tiny, tiny cup. It's not my favorite. It tastes like, you guys know eating pomegranate, right? Pomegranate's not bad. I don't mind it, but it's not my favorite thing in the universe. It tastes like I'm just eating a pomegranate. I'm going to put this cup away. I'll be right back. Yeah, I feel like pomegranate's best if it's just mixed with other things. All right, so like I said, pomegranate's gonna need some water. Let's just rinse out the actual container. Get our money's worth here. Shake out the whole pomegranate thing. Yeah. All right, now fill the rest up with just regular water, or filtered water, I guess. Alright, do it now about even. That should be enough in terms of headspace. Now, let's shake it up a bit more. So each individual thing's got to get shaken up here. Let's rinse this again. I don't think I did. Alright, let's start off by, I don't know, shaking this one. Why not? Pyment first. So this needs pretty good shaking. Like I said, there's a lot of honey in here. Okay, let's get a good grip on this because I don't want this flying around. If I drop this, this is obvious, that would be quite bad. If it cracked, then we'd have a whole sticky honey liquid mess all over my kitchen. And I don't even know how I'd begin to clean that up. Now, I already had that initial shaking with the when it was just tea in there, so I don't need to do it quite as much as I've done in the past. But try the bottom of the jug so I can get a bit of a better grip on this thing. There's like one raisin sticking to the bottom of this thing. That's weird. Whatever. How you guys doing? Is everyone alive out there? Not being pomegranate, fairly popular to grow here since it's kind of drought resistant. I see. Yeah, because you hear about pomegranates being grown in like the Middle East and stuff, isn't it, historically? The Levant, I do believe. I guess I may as well be doing this on camera. I gotta do like 2 bottles. This is actually quite a workout. All right. Brew number 2. Hello, basically, mead is honey-based alcohol. Imagine a wine, except instead of grapes, it's honey. This one, as I said, that I'm mixing up, is a mix of honey and pomegranate. So I believe when you mix any fruit and honey in an alcohol, it's a melomel, I do believe the term is. So even the Pyment is a melomel, but a Pyment is a subset of a melomel, which is a subset of mead. Okay, so that should be enough for preliminary shake. Now, The reason I didn't do it super thoroughly yet is because I still need to put in the yeast. Now the yeast is going to go in. Okay, now we got more than enough yeast. Is it tablespoons or teaspoons of yeast? I can't remember. I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look up my notes. I'll be back in a sec to see whether or not I need 1.5 teaspoons of yeast or 1.5 tablespoons of yeast. It's not gonna matter that much, but I may as well do it according to the way I've been doing it thus far. So I'll be right back. Was indeed teaspoon, so we're going to sanitize a teaspoon. Is it like high alcohol? Because I had honey based like whiskey, you could say, but not whiskey, but so a distilled honey drink? I don't know what you'd call that. I've heard of it, of its existence anyway. But no, this is brewing. It's not distilling, so this will go anywhere between. Well, what I've made so far is anywhere between 11 and 15-ish%. So it's like wine caliber strength. Distilling is, yeah, it's illegal. So I don't do that. Hello, Disability Overload, welcome. Alright. This is not perfectly dry, so a little bit of the yeast is going to get stuck in here, but it's not a big deal. I'd dry this off somewhere, the spoon. The problem is that would kind of negate the point of sanitizing in the first place. Illegal? Why? A variety of reasons. I mean, chief among which is going to be regulation of a controlled substance amongst the population, because that's what governments like to do. But at the same time, distilling can actually be allegedly kind of dangerous. Like you can produce actual poison doing that if you don't know what you're doing. Whereas this, you can't really fuck. I mean, you could fuck it up. But I mean, if you produce something that's not drinkable, you're gonna know it's not drinkable because it'll be rotten. Whereas if you distill, there's different kinds of alcohols that produce, if I recall correctly. Granted that, I mean, if you're distilling or if you're brewing, you also produce it, but it's like spread out over a large thing. Whereas if you distill, and because you concentrate alcohol, so you can concentrate the bad, really poisonous alcohol. Depends on the distillation technique, but I believe certain kinds of stills can explode or something. I don't know. Basically, there's a variety of problems with distilling. It also sounds like a pain in the ass, so I'm not interested in doing it personally. But if I want whiskey or something, I'll just go out and buy it. Alright, that'll do the trick. Don't think I need the spoon anymore. So that, of course, like I said, was the yeast. That's the step that actually makes the alcohol, because otherwise we just have a bunch of kind of gross juice floating around in jugs. Don't need any kind of specialized yeast for that. That was just standard bread yeast. It was like quick rise bread yeast or something like that. Fleischmann's. You can get, not to say that, you know, specialized brewing yeasts are bad or anything. They do different things. But for my purposes, this bread yeast has always worked perfectly fine, so I just keep using it. Okay, so now we use that cap again. Actually, before we mix this up, no, you know, it's fine. All right. Let's mix it up a bit more. I can see the yeast just kind of sitting in there. It's a lot of work when you got to do two at once. Then I'll get caught up with you guys in chat in just a second here. Alright, that looks to be fine. Yeah, we're good. I think I'm gonna mix that one up in a second. Okay. I think it's illegal in Europe as well. Depends on the country, I imagine. Canada it's illegal. US it's illegal. Europe, I have no idea. Individual countries, I would guess. So probably nice to get drunk with, tipsy, sure. Wait, what? I should be wearing my glasses if I'm gonna read chat, but. Sugary drink? Yeah, mead. I forget what it is, but something about honey and alcohol, like something about, there's a thing in honey when it ferments, creates some kind of thing that's not good with hangovers. And yeah, it kind of, if you drink too much of this, it gives you kind of a bad hangover. That said, it's not that sugary, because most of the sugars in the honey will ferment out. Germany's illegal. Yeah, I don't think there are too many countries where home brewing like this is illegal. I think there are some, if I recall correctly, like it might be illegal in South Africa, maybe. I think it's the one I've heard of. Maybe even that's not. I don't know. Just a little bit more. Okay, that'll do the trick. Now what we do, so let's get some readings. Maybe I can't remember if you do this before or after you put the yeast in. It doesn't really matter. All right, I need the turkey baster. I'll be right back. Yeah, one more thing we need to get a proper reading on this. So we properly sanitize this as well. Try and get most of the excess liquid out of here, otherwise it'll tamper with the reading, because it'll dilute the liquid. I mean, not to any kind of meaningful degree, I suppose, unless there's like a lot in here. Well, we may as well dry it out. They make a lot of home whiskey. The honey rum was made by my neighbor and a lot of people in Slovenia. Honey rum, not whiskey. Okay, honey rum. Yeah, I don't know too much about like distilled honey products. I don't know if I've ever had one before. Sounds I'd try it. Sounds interesting. Then again, I'll try most things. So. All right. So what we need is we need to get some liquid out of here. I'll explain what's going on in a second. Just I gotta fill it up. So what this does, it just tells me roughly how much sugar is in here before this thing starts fermenting. Alright, this looks pretty sweet. This is 1.1. 1.12. 2, 4. And my glasses. Two, 4, 6, 8. 1.28. Is this the sweetest thing I have ever made? Maybe. I'm gonna do some quick calculations on what that actually means, because I might have to add a little bit more water to this. What did I say? 1.128, right? Yeah, they're back. Yep, if I leave this one as is and it goes completely dry, which it won't because the yeast won't go this high, this would go up to 16.8% ABV. Now, if it stops at a comfortable 1.02 original or gravity, that I'll get a nice and comfortable 14 to 15% range. So I might leave this as is and just see how it goes. I've never had a starting brew this sweet. So again, all these numbers mean it's measuring how much sugar is actually in here in relation to the liquid. My eyesight's getting bad. It's just easier, like I said. If I want to be able to, my eyesight itself is fine. It's just I get double vision unless I tilt my head. And it's just kind of annoying to tilt my head when I'm trying to look at small numbers. Okay, so we're gonna go quickly rinse this out as well. Oh, we got an orange peel in there. That's true. I'm tempted to put just a little bit more water in there just because it'll throw off my measurement unless I do this again, and I don't really want to, especially since I just washed everything. We'll leave it, it's fine. Okay, what did I do with the cap? Oh, it's on here. Okay. Gonna rinse this one more time. So this one's been sitting around for a little bit, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna shake it up real quick. Just to make sure it's fully shaken up. when I take the measurement. Nothing too strenuous, you know, just get everything mixed up again so it's all homogeneous, so I get a proper reading. Hello Litorius, welcome. I can't see what that emote is, but you learned something new today? Well, if it was from here, I hope it's useful. Alright, let's get this guy set up here. It's kind of a pain in the ass to get in. That's what you get for buying a budget turkey baster. I think this thing was like $2. Surprised it hasn't broken yet. In dark mode, I'm on a phone, and I don't use it anyway. Well, no, it depends. If I'm watching a stream, then I'll have it on like that full screen mode thing where everything goes dark automatically. Right. That should be sufficient. Now, how sweet is this brew? Ooh, wow, that's amazingly sweet. That's what I was. That's why I didn't add as much sugar in there or honey in there as I thought I should. That's why I didn't add as much honey in there. Even that, with that, it's wow. That's really sweet. If this fully fermented, this would be like 20% or something. I don't even need to do the math on that. Let's add a bit more water in there. In fact, just so I can fit it in there, I might just dump this. You know, like that's such a waste, but I need the space. Otherwise, this is probably not even going to ferment. I'll put this aside. The thing is, I drink this, but it's full of yeast, most likely, so I don't want to really drink it. Okay, I took a tiny sip. That is like the sweetest thing I've ever drank. Can I afford to get a little bit more liquid or water in there? Tiny bit more. Any more than that, and then even this I'm risking a blowout. on here last time? Doesn't matter. So we gotta shake this up again because I added water, so obviously I gotta get this to a homogeneous state again. Okay. Put that there. Put this up. So hopefully this gets a significantly lower reading this time. Yeah, it's a good thing I didn't go with my original honey plan with that. That would have been so far over if I'd done that. I'm concerned even this might still be too high. Move this another way. Get another reading on this guy. How are we doing now? Looking a bit better, not. Oh, no, I think this is okay. Or is it? What are we sitting at here? 1.13. Slightly higher than this guy over here. Do I want to run with this? Oh, actually, no, it's changed a bit. What are we actually at here? 2, 4, 6, 8. Nah, it's 1.13. And yeah, I'm concerned with just its ability to ferment. This feels like a waste again, but I'm gonna dump this just so I can fit more water in there. I hate doing this. I should have planned this out a bit better. Oh well. It's illegal for me to sell this, unfortunately. Oh, Consenu, hello, welcome. And Light Fellow, hello. Okay, so what am I going to do here? I don't really need to... Yeah, this can just sit here for now, it's fine. They sit there like that. I don't necessarily, well no, I might need that in a bit. Okay. So that can sit there like that. I need to shake this up again. Let's do that, it's fine. Make the liquid homogeneous again. Home on wine operations here, and the police kind of turn a blind eye to it. I mean, it'd be nice if I could sell this. It'd be nice to actually make money and all that, but. Alright, that should be good. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to rinse the container out a bit so I don't get the old reading, or rather the old reading doesn't contaminate the second reading. There you go. Alright, what is our third reading? Do we have a manageable sugar level here? Ah, that is much better. Much better. Still pretty high, but much more manageable. This is a nice and crisp 1.12 or 2.4. I'm going to say 2.4. Still higher than my previous brews, but again, better. I'm going to, yeah. Could someone write that down in chat for me? 1.124, so I just don't forget it. Why buy mead? Presumably because you want to drink it, because you can't drink this stuff. Bit late and woke up a bit later, but here, hello Mystic, welcome. Angry Possum Spirits, and it's not a bad name. If I made a brewery or something, we could maybe go with that, or a distillery. I'm going to add more water to this too, I've decided. Executive decision is adding water to the other one time. I fucked with this one 3 times, so I may as well, you know, mess around with this one a bit too. Alright, so that one's fine. This one, I'm going to, like I said, add a little bit of water too. Not too much, but I do have a little bit of room to work with here, so. Something like that? Yeah, should be fine. Doesn't need to be too much weaker. Alright, we're going to mix it up and take a new reading on the pomegranate mead. Oh, we got a lot. Okay, got a lot of them in chat. Thank you. Except Freak Life, who failed horrendously. All right, should be good. Incidentally, the way I'm doing this ad hoc with my amounts and stuff is not great. I can do it because I've done this so many, well, not so many times, but enough times now that I can adjust on the fly. If you're doing this for the first time around or something, you should probably have like set numbers you use. Not do it like I'm doing, where it's like, well, okay, this is too high, let's add more of this and I can even out. Like, again, because I've done it in the past, I have a frame of reference to be like, it should be more like this thing, so I'm going to keep doing it until it's more like that thing, so. Just fair warning, this is not me doing things properly. This is, like I said, very ad hoc. I just decided to do this morning. I'm like, all right, I'm going to add all these things in here, and it should probably more or less work out. But if you want it to go smoother and waste less time, get some proper numbers and stick to those numbers. Alright, that should suffice. What are we looking at here number-wise? 1.1246. It hasn't really changed. Yeah, this is basically the same. I might do the same thing with the last thing, where I just fill this up with a bit more water. And I'll just have to dump that tiny amount there. It's a waste, but like I said, there you go. Ultimately, we're going to make the same amount of liquid because I'm just replacing some water with water, but alright, that should be pretty good there. Alright, out of pure curiosity, let's see what this tastes like. Honestly, it's better than the pomegranate juice on its own. That's not bad, actually. In fact, the only reason I'm not drinking that on its own is because there's yeast floating around in there, and it's fine. It's not like I get sick or anything, but I'd rather just not drink a whole bunch of yeast. Well, I mean, mead is honey by definition, so yes. Shake it up a bit to once again make the liquid homogeneous. Oh, also, once again, I mentioned this earlier. Well, two things. If I missed anything in chat, feel free to just say it again. The chat is just a lot harder for me to read when I'm out here in the kitchen. And if there are any like resubscriptions or anything even remotely along those lines, not even just the person who did it, but like if anyone sees anything, just feel free to let me know. Or just keep spamming shit in chat until I actually see it. Obviously, when I go back to my computer, I'll be able to see everything because of my records of stuff. But for the time being, I'm not intentionally missing anything. Why is this turkey baster having problems all of a sudden? What's going on? There we go. It's being weird. Alright, glass number 3. Now, take reading number 3 or whatever we're up to here. Alright, how are we doing? Do we have a manageable number yet? Oh, this is way better. Yeah, that's perfect. Well, not perfect, but it's good. Just once it starts bobbing, I'll be able to see. This is a respectable 1.12. I'm surprised I managed to get it that low. Yes, that is perfect. Could someone write that down for me? 1.12 on the pomegranate. Bonus points if you spell pomegranate correctly. Gouffran, that's minus 7,000 points. In fact, that was so wrong that Champion Kill doesn't get any points. Just one final little shake up here before the final step. We're actually done, about done here, guys, finally. So, final step is, that's how you actually spell it? I know. But I'm saying Lightfiddle screwed up so hard that it detracts points from you. So the last step is just to seal this all off. And I can't do it on camera. Well, I guess I could swivel the camera, but basically I'm just going to stick this thing in that thing, and I can't do it on this table because I'm going to force it down pretty hard, and I'm mildly concerned, or I suppose moderately concerned, that I might break the table because it's not very sturdy. So, yeah. I'm going to do it over on the countertop. That's right. I would apply such inhuman force with my muscles that the table would be disintegrated. So I have to go over to the countertop. All right, there we go. And now just set up the airlock. I got it instantly. Must be getting good at this. So we just fill this up with sanitization fluid. Not regular water. How is that? Garbage on the side here, isn't it? It's not too far in. Oh, this is the broken one. I don't want to use this one, I think, isn't it? Oh, no, it's not. This one's fine. Okay. Never mind. Back in you go. Yeah, one of them broke, like part of it snapped. It's probably still fine, but I have 4 of these, so. Hey, we got that one in one go too. Normally I have to sit there like adjusting the levels of the liquid in here. Actually, you guys can't even see that. So I should probably explain what's happening. You got to level the liquid out on here, and this just creates a seal. no, this is the broken one. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I don't want to use this one. It probably doesn't matter. It's this thing, it's this part right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Like that snapped. I don't think that's necessary for like the structural integrity of the thing, but we can always use that one as a backup one. So I get another. I get another one of those. I have it in the other room. I'll be right back. That should more or less do the trick for that one. There we go. Don't put it too far down. We're good though. Wait, is this the broken? Wait, what? Oh shit, did I just break another one? No, it's fine. Okay, never mind. It looked like it was broken. It wasn't. Oh no, it is. It's just slightly cracked. I think it's fine. Yeah, it's just like the attachment bit. I don't think that matters. Hopefully. Well, it's mildly annoying, but I think it's okay. Alright, well we're done. It doesn't look like these things are fermenting yet, but it can take a bit of time. The other thing I'm mildly concerned with is that yeast is actually quite old. I might need to add a different yeast later. Especially since it all seems to have just sunk right to the bottom. I don't know what that means. Usually it floats up towards the top. Now am I seeing any bubbles here? I'm going to take it over to the light here just so I can see it a bit better. Just giving things a quick little swirl there. All right, yeah, that's it for brewing, I guess. The next thing is, so here's the thing. If this yeast doesn't actually work, I have to go out and buy different yeast. That's not a problem. I just go, the yeast that I put in there will act as the dead, if it's dead, it'll act as food for any new yeast I put in. So, yeah, I just have to go out and buy new yeast. Again, I'm not saying it is dead. There's no way to tell right now because it doesn't usually start up this early. It takes some time, and then when it starts bubbling up, you're like, okay, the yeast is fine. So yeah, that's going to be it for me with the brewing. I'm not done streaming, by the way, if anyone's wondering. We're going to go back and play some Final Fantasy 14 for the rest of the day, I guess. What's going on? The chat's so small I can't see everything. But for it's drinkable, I mean, technically I could drink it right now. But yeah, I'm assuming you're asking when is it like kind of done? Realistically, well, it depends on you're realistic, I guess. But I mean, it's probably going to be done in terms of fermentation by in about a month, I would say, most likely. But I'm going to leave it probably for about 2 to 3 months before I actually bottle and drink it up. I think that's, yeah, it's usually roughly how long I leave it. It's not straight. I feel like I'm seeing maybe the early startups of fermentation on the side of the pomegranate one. Like I could try and move it in so you guys can see it, but if I disturb it, it's going to be really hard to see anyway. But at the side, like maybe you can see some bubbles starting to come up. There's foam at the top certainly, but that's from shaking. That's why it's so hard to tell where the bubbles are actually coming from. But bubbles more or less means, not exactly, but means it's probably fermenting. The other one, I have no idea. Anyway, so here's the plan. I didn't actually leave too much stuff that needs to be cleaned out, did I? Is that stuff is all? Yeah, I put that all in sanitization liquid last. I don't need to wash any of that. I don't think. Maybe I should. Maybe I'll rinse it later. But we're not doing that on stream. That's boring. So we're gonna go put this away under the in the cabinet. By the way, before I go, back up. Thanks. You long back into about 500k gil. Is that good? Where did that money come from? But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and what happened to my drink? Oh, there it is. Let's go ahead and so I'm gonna put this stuff away in the dark location because you don't want it to be in consistent sunlight.